Hola amigos, Dr. Bernicki. Today we'll take a look at the preterite past tense in Spanish. When do we use it? How do we conjugate it? And what are some irregular conjugations? Vamos a empezar. The preterite past tense is different than the imperfect past tense. So there's two different past tenses in Spanish, but this video will just focus on the preterite past tense explanation. The preterite past tense is used when we're talking about a specific time in the past. Some examples in English would be, yesterday I went to school. Last night I ate pizza. I was born in 1980. Here's some specific time vocabulary that can be important for using the preterite past tense. Ayer, yesterday. Anoche, last night. Hace 3 días, 3 days ago. I can use this construction hace and then a set amount of time, and that will indicate how much time ago I'm talking about. Ayer por la tarde, yesterday afternoon. El año pasado, last year. La semana pasada, last week. Anteayer, the day before yesterday. Here's how we conjugate a regular AR verb in the preterite past tense. Yo hablé, I spoke. Notice that the E has an accent over it. Tu hablaste, you spoke. Usted habló, he spoke, she spoke, or you spoke, the formal version. Notice that the O has an accent on it. If the O did not have an accent on it, then we'd be talking about a verb in the present tense, yo form. Nosotros hablamos, we spoke. Notice this is the same as the present tense, we form. What's going to be important here are those key past tense words indicating it's the past tense. Vosotros hablasteis, y'all spoke, mostly used in Spain. Ellos, ellas, ustedes hablaron, they spoke, or you all spoke. Alright, how about an ER-IR verb conjugation? The ER and IR verbs will have the same conjugation in the preterite past tense, so we just need to look at a ER verb. Yo comí, I ate. Again, notice the important accent over the I. Tu comiste, you ate. Él, ella, usted comió, he ate, she ate, you ate, the formal version. Notice the O has an accent. Nosotros comimos. So this is different than in the present tense would be comemos. But for an IR verb, like escribir, escribimos could mean we wrote or we write in the past tense or present tense. Vosotros comisteis, y'all ate. Ellos, ellas, ustedes comieron, they ate or all of you ate. Alright, here's some examples of how we can use the preterite past tense in a sentence. Ayer comí en casa. Yesterday I ate at home. Ellos subieron la montaña. They climbed the mountain. Nosotros volvimos a la playa. We returned to the beach. Alright, here let's take a look at some of the irregular verbs. Ir and ser are a 2-for-1 verb. There's only one verb chart to know, but it can mean two different things. Since this is the case, this is a very common irregular verb. And notice there's no accents. Fui, I went or I was. Fuiste, you went or you were. Fue, he went, she went, or you went, the formal version, or was. Fuimos, we went, we were. Fuisteis, y'all went, y'all were. Fueron, they went, they were. Or all of you went or were. Let's take a look at some other irregular verbs. These are called car, gar, zar verbs. They're only irregular in the yo form. All the other forms are regular. Buscar, busqué, I looked for. This gets a QUE with an accent ending to keep the same k sound. Jugar, jugué, it gets a GUE with an accent ending to keep the same g sound. And empezar changes to empecé, I began. The Z changes to a C. Again, all other forms of this verb are regular. All right, let's take a look at some stem changing verbs. Preferir, to prefer. Pedir, to ask for or to order. Servir, to serve. Seguir, to follow. Repetir, to repeat. Dormir, to sleep. Morir, to die. So the first 5 verbs are E to I stem changers, and the last two are O to U stem changers. So these change a little bit different than in the present tense. In the preterite tense, the stem changes is just in the bottom 2 conjugations, third person singular, third person plural. All right, let's take a look at our conjugations. The endings are the same, but let's take a look at the O to U stem changers. Yo dormi, I slept. Tu dormiste, you slept. Él usted durmió. He slept, she slept, you slept. Formal version. Nosotros dormimos. We slept. Vosotros dormisteis. Y'all slept. Ellos, ellas, ustedes durmieron. They slept. All of you slept. All right, let's take a look at the irregular forms for just the yo version, but all of the verbs are irregular. All of them have an irregular stem and a slightly irregular conjugation, and none of these have accents, also make them irregular. Andar, anduve, I walked. And I'll just say the rest of the conjugations for andar. So anduve, I walked. Anduviste, you walked. Anduvo, he or she walked. Anduvimos, we walked. Anduvistais, y'all walked. Anduvieron, they walked or all of you walked. So the rest of these verbs will have the same endings and the same irregular root for all of the conjugations of the verb. Estar, estuve, I was. Tener, tuve, I had. Poner, puse, I put. Poder, pude, I could. Saber, supe, I found out. Querer, quise, I wanted. Venir, vine, I came. Hacer, hice, I made, I did. Here's some more irregular forms, just the yo form, and the rest of the verbs are also irregular. Decir, dije, I said, I told. Traer, traje, I brought. Conducir, conduje, I drove. Dar, di, I gave. Notice this is an AR verb, but it works like an ER verb without any accent. Ver, vi, I saw. This is basically a regular ER verb, except it has no accents. And here's a couple other verbs that are irregular just in the third person. They get a Y, and all the other forms are regular. Construir changes to construyó, he or she constructed. Construyeron, they constructed. Leer changes to leyó, he or she read. Leyeron, they read. Caer changes to cayó, he or she fell. And cayeron, they fell. Oír changes to oyó, he or she heard. And oyeron, they heard or all of you heard. Alright, that's it for the preterit. Gracias por mirar. Click subscribe for free access to all my videos. Learning Spanish with Dr. L. Hasta pronto.